Fame and fortune could only provide so much. Fancy cars, a house like a castle, millions of dollars. But one night jeopardized everything. Subject of Love Gone Wrong #9 is Phil Spector. In the 60s and 70s, Spector was the most respected producer in pop music. His artists were a who's who of rock and roll, including the Beatles, Tina Turner, and the Ramones.
Phil Spector, a genius, really. Phil Spector had the wall of sound. He created some of the most popular pop music in history.
In early 2003, Spector became infamous for a whole new reason. Actress Lana Clarkson died in Phil's Los Angeles area home. Spector was charged with second-degree murder.
In count 1, with the murder of Lana Clarkson in violation of Penal Code Section 187, it's alleged to have occurred on or about February 3rd of 2003.
He was later released on $1 million bail. Phil Spector owned a lot of guns, and court testimony alleged that he wasn't shy about waving them around.
I remember a story about when the Ramones were recording. They'd been in his house for like 24 hours straight, and they wanted out, and Phil was like, no way, and out comes the gun.
Spector and his attorneys said that Phil never pulled a gun on anyone. In the early morning hours of February 3rd, 2003, a .38 caliber Colt revolver killed Lana Clarkson. According to court testimony, Clarkson met Spector the night before at the House of Blues, where she worked as a hostess.
Many actresses do that because you meet people who can help your career. Sadly, she met Phil Spector.
According to Spector, Lana asked to see his mansion. According to Phil's chauffeur, Spector begged Lana to get in his limo and come home with him.
Lana leaves work at 2 o'clock. They take their limo back to Phil's fabulous mansion in Alhambra.
In court, Phil's driver, Adriana DeSouza, testified that he delivered the pair to Spector's house and waited. At 5 a.m., he heard a shot. DeSouza said Phil came out of the house holding a gun with blood on his hands. Spector told the driver, "I think I killed her." Spector's lawyers claimed DeSouza was mistaken about what he heard. After finding Lana's lifeless body slumped in a chair in the foyer, DeSouza called 911. When police arrived, they attempted to arrest Spector. He resisted and was tasered. Police testified that Phil told an officer on the scene, "I didn't mean to shoot her."
Phil now claims that confession didn't count, and he was under stress, and he claims that confession just came out of, stop torturing me, please.
My fingerprints were not on the gun, and the gun the deceased used to kill herself was not owned by me nor registered to me.
The trial began on May 14th, 2007. The prosecution portrayed Spector as an unbalanced man, prone to fits of rage with a history of intimidating women.
Other women who have come forward to claim that they were unable to leave his house, that when they tried to, he threatened force or violence against them.
Spector's lawyers refuted claims made by other women, calling them, quote, gold diggers. The defense claimed that Lana Clarkson was depressed and chose to commit suicide in Phil Spector's foyer.
Of course, a single gunshot, not necessarily it's a homicide. That could be a suicide, could be an accidental death.
On September 26, 2007, jurors deadlocked and the judge declared a mistrial. A retrial began in 2008. On April 13, 2009, jurors found Spector guilty of second-degree murder. A month later, he was sentenced to serve 19 years to life in prison.
The defendant is sentenced to 19 years to life.
Spector's attorneys planned an appeal.